Joining me on today's program is Haggai Eliakim. He's the EVP of Sales and Marketing at SimplyCT. Haggai, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Hello. Thank you for hosting us in this session.
So one of the biggest topics, one of the hottest topics in the market today is virtualization, virtual technologies. What, from your perspective, what is virtual? What does virtual mean? What kind of things can people do with virtualization?
Okay, so if we take it to the contact center or call center industry, virtual for most of the the market is kind of a weird word, and they do not know how to understand the virtual and the contact center, because most of the solutions that are currently in the market, they're physical. They have to be on premise, and they have to feel it. They have to it's a tangible solution as a project. We take the virtual and the contact center from the other hand in a solution that actually turns the virtual into a service and taking the technology aspect out of the customer's hands. So he will be focused mostly in his business targets and goals and his go-to-market strategy, instead of making worries about how to implement a solution, if he can support a solution, if he have enough resources to implement a solution, or if he needs to delay that and to patch his system, or to maybe to integrate a third-party service provider to that, and having that tested, and it takes time, like widening the time window, and he loses the market as a time-to-market issue. So we take the virtual to the service. So you as a customer, you'll be worried how to implement the right goals and how to focus on the right business aspects of that. And instead of just taking a long cycle of testing your technology, then implementing a solution, a third-party solution to that, and just in order to support your marketing and sales needs. So we want to shorten that gap. We will take the virtual to the service side. We will service you, and you just need to focus on telling us how you want to achieve that and what is exactly your target and goals, and the platform will support that.
What are the reasons that customers are looking to move to a virtual environment? What's driving them there?
Mainly, I think it's I can say that now these days, customers that are experiencing a problem of that the system cannot support, that the system is not flexible or tolerant enough to get into the point that it will support their market and business needs. And mainly they would like to start to reduce cost, reduce expenses, and use, let's say, home-based agents, work-at-home agents. They want to do different types of skill-based routing of the calls, and they would like to have the option to occupy call centers in different locations in order to lower costs. Some of it actually implement on the greener the planet gets, like you burn less electricity, less real estate, less resources being used while you occupy your solutions through a virtual solution, which is actually a cloud-based solution with a multi-tenant platform capabilities.
What challenges do people face when migrating from an on-premises to a virtual or cloud-based solution?
I think that the main challenge that they face when they start to understand the benefits of turning into virtual is that actually they're looking for a tangible solution, as I mentioned earlier. They would like to see the phones on the table. They like to feel the system, and actually the system is, as I mentioned earlier, it's a service, and they need to disconnect from the technology side of it and not implement too much time on that, and go and get their business targets ready and set to go with a go-to-market plan. So the main target is like moving forward to a virtual, to a much more the next generation type of contact center, is that they're afraid that there is a virtual and not tangible, and that they will in some way will caught without any solution in hand. And I think that the current solutions that are in the market, they're mature enough. There is a real place, and I think that there is real maturity in the market to host these solutions, and the solutions are really good in order to support the current needs and also the future needs. That I think that the traditional solutions cannot do that anymore. And one thing that I want to mention here is that many customers that we meet with that turn out to be our customers were stuck with the traditional system that they patched for a long time period, like a long time, I mean 8-10 years. They keep on maintaining the system. No one is responsible for the system. Every time that there is a need to maintain or there is a service breakdown of the system, they need to create kind of inventing the wheel in order to reverse engineer the problem and to get it solved. So in the virtual environment, you don't have such a problem because you don't need to get worried about the technical side. You don't need to maintain. You don't need to allocate the resource that you're allocating now in order to maintain, just to make sure that nothing happens to the system and there is enough knowledge in the organization in order to maintain the technology. So it's a kind of mindset shifting. I think that the organization will be in a different position when it understands the main benefits of turning the technology and handing it over to a service provider than just keep on maintaining the current situation, which is a bit abnormal.
Got it. Well, thank you. We've been talking here in the TMC newsroom about virtualization and virtual call centers with Haggai Eliakim from SimplyCT. Haggai, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you very much.